I'm on question 3 now. Which statement is true concerning moral principles and self interest? Oh, by the way, this is business ethics. Um, anyway, which statement is true concerning moral principles and self interest? Statutes are laws applied in the English speaking world before there were any common laws? That doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Why is it English speaking? What statement is true concerning moral principles and self interest? Statutes are laws applied in English. Why? Just focus. Anyway. Philosophers agree that morality. Let me just prep this up. Philosophers agree that morality is based on the commands of God. I don't think they do. I don't think that's true at all. Groupthink is a positive and necessary characteristic of all groups. I kind of agree with that. So far, that's my answer. Morality serves to restrain our purely self-interested desires so that we all. That is a theory. However, I wouldn't say it's true. It's just an idea that might be true. But honestly, I don't believe it's true. Some people do. Anyway, that's my answer. Which of the following characteristics distinguishes moral standards from other sorts of standards? Moral standards are purely optional? Are they? Don't know about that. I don't think so. I don't know about that, honestly. I have to think about what morality is. Moral standards take priority over other standards, including self-interest. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Again, I need to define moral standards. Moral standards cannot be justified by reasons. Huh. Wait, what? I'm not going to be able to answer this without defining morality. What is morality? What is a moral standard? What is a moral standard? Treat others nicely is just standard morality. That helps in a lot of ways. Moral standards must be set or validated by some authority. That's not true. Okay, so I can eliminate that one. Purely optional. I feel like some moral standards are upheld by the law. So I'm going to say that that's not true. Like other moral standards, it's an option, but other, like, don't murder people, don't steal from people, that's upheld by the law. Take priority over other standards, including self-interest. Maybe? I don't know about that, to be honest. Not always. Because there's definitely people who put themselves first. Cannot be justified. I'm gonna say this one. I don't know. That seems really cut and dry. And to me, morality is not so cut and dry, but whatever. Moving on. When religion and morality are considered, the word instructions of the world's great religions are often general and imprecise. I don't know. Most people act rightly only because their religion tells them to. I don't think so. I think it benefits society when people act in a way that's, good to others. Atheists are likely to be less. That's not true at all. In practice, people who share religion will agree on all moral. That's not true at all. This is one of these two. The moral instructions of the world's great religions are often. I feel like that's kind of true. I feel like a lot of religions share certain aspects of morality. Yeah, I don't feel like that's true at all. I think people act rightly because they want to, because their religion tells them to, because their parents tell them to, for a whole host of reasons. The following is a logical fact. All valid arguments are sound arguments. That sounds right. All sound arguments are valid arguments. Don't know about that one. Certain stuff makes sense. Because it's like, wow, bluebirds are blue and the sky is blue, that means that they must be one and the same. It kind of makes sense, but no, not really. I would say that's kind of a sound argument, but definitely not valid. But I don't know. I don't even know what the difference is between those two. Sound and valid, not necessarily. Sound argument may have a false conclusion. A sound argument may have a false premise. I feel like either of those are true. Am I wrong? What do you mean by sound? These subjective ass words. Ouch. To me, a sound argument is structurally, like sound is structurally sound, as in it's like all parts support each other. If an argument is valid, I feel like it is a sound argument. So I'm just gonna go with that. The authors use the murder of Kitty Genovese to illustrate. Ooh. See, I thought I could do this without reading, but I don't know anything about this. But are we gonna go and check? No, we're not. This is my first attempt. All right. Authors: ethical relativism, groupthink, bystander apathy. I think it's this one. Because they love demonstrating that one, the bystander effect. But I have no idea. I don't know anything about that. Who's Kitty? Who's Kitty Genovese? Who is that? Choose the statement that is a true reflection of moral behavior. What? Okay. Conscience is a perfectly reliable guide for moral behavior. No. Peer pressure has no effect on whether or not people behave morally. That's not true. Bystander apathy appears to result in part from diffusion of responsibility. That makes sense. Yes, that is exactly what that is. All moral behavior is motive. Why is religion like such a big? They really want to drive home. Yo, religion is not the reason why people are moral. The example of Huckleberry Finn shows I do know a little bit of Huckleberry Finn, thank God. One should always obey one's conscience. When in doubt, one should ignore one's conscience. We shouldn't rely uncritically on what our conscience says, unlike most people. Huckleberry Finn lacked a conscience. I don't know if that's true, but I'm gonna go with we shouldn't always rely on that. We should go, depend on logic and evidence and stuff like that too. How did Aristotle view morality? Fuck if I know. It's necessary for us to try to be virtuous or excellent human beings. Is that what Aristotle thought? Don't know. Moral judgments are true because God commands them of us. Moral judgments are determined by Moral judgments are Moral judgments are determined differently by each culture. Maybe. It's never right to help ourselves when we can help other people instead. Maybe as well. I don't know Aristotle. I know his life. I don't know if he was religious. It's necessary for us to try to be virtuous. Oh, I think that's true. That's very true. I'm gonna go with that. That makes most sense. And he's a philosopher, right? So. The famous experiments by social psychologist Solomon Asch. Oh my gosh, all these specific ass people. It'd be hilarious if I got an A on this. Famous experiments by social psychologist Solomon Asch show the truth of utilitarianism. I don't know what that is. The power of peer pressure has been greatly exaggerated. I don't know. Business organizations put more pressure on individual integrity than do other kinds of organization. Individual integrity? I don't know that they ever do. Even temporary groups can pressure people to conform. I think so. I'm gonna go with that one. I think that's what he did. What criteria concerning moral judgments should we agree with? As long as your conduct is legal, then it will be moral. That's not true. If you follow the rules of etiquette, your conduct will be moral. I don't know about that, honestly. What do you mean? What's etiquette? Etiquette's like being considerate of others, I suppose. Don't really know. Moral standards typically concern behavior that can be, etiquette's different in every country, in different places, even different households, etiquette's different. So, I think that's true. I'm gonna eliminate those two. Moral standards typically concern behavior that can be of serious consequence to human welfare. I doubt it. I don't think so. If your conduct follows the guidelines of professional codes of ethics, it will be moral. Damn, how do I know? Okay, so we're just making a cut and dry. If you do this, then it will be this. Moral standards typically concern behavior that can be of serious consequence to human welfare. Is that okay? What's more again? What's morality? What is moral? I really don't think that's true. I don't know. So it's either the etiquette or the professional code of ethics. I'm gonna go with ethics because we always try to be ethical, and being ethical is to be moral, is it not? I don't know. The divine command theory implies that God commands us to do whatever our reason tells us is right. God forbids stealing because stealing is wrong. God leaves right and wrong up to us. So, well, stealing is wrong only because God commands us not to steal. Divine command. I'm gonna go with the one that says command. Wait, what? Click. God commands us to do whatever a reason tells us is right. I don't fucking know. Choose a statement that gives the most accurate description of etiquette. Yeah. Choose the statement that gives the most accurate description of etiquette. The rules of etiquette are a fundamental branch of morality. Don't know. Conformity with the rules of etiquette is sufficient for moral conduct. Etiquette refers to a special code of social behavior or courtesy. 100%. That sounds 100% right. I believe that is correct. If an argument is valid, then the argument is sound. That's what we said earlier in this quiz. So I gotta back up my own, thought process from earlier, right? I'll just read the rest of these just for funsies, though. The argument's conclusion must be true. While an argument may be valid, it's like that's not always the reality of the situation. It's just like nobody likes to get murdered. Nobody likes to go to jail. If you say that you're gonna go to jail if you murder, then nobody should murder. Makes sense. Argument's valid. Nobody wants to go to jail. Nobody wants to nobody wants to get murdered. So like it makes sense, but is that true? No, not at all. People murder all the time. People go to jail all the time. The argument's premises are true. I think that's actually correct. Huh. If an argument's valid, its conclusion must be true if its premises are. I feel like that's actually, huh. I might have to go back and look at my question because these both make sense, kind of. If the premise of the argument is that nobody wants to go to jail, well, that premise isn't necessarily true because some people do want to go to jail because it's a roof over their head, they get food and water, and it's free, and they get them out of wherever they are. Let's see. So, what premise is true? The premise that plants need water to live. That's 100% true. right? So if I argue, based on the premise that plants need water, that if you take away the water from the plant will eventually die, then the conclusion is that plants need water. Or no. What's the premise? The premise is that plants need water. So the conclusion is plants will die if they don't have water. That's the conclusion. Which is true. In all cases, even cactuses need water. They need a lot less water, but they do need water. So do succulents. So the conclusion is true that eventually the plants will die without water. So if the premise is true, that plants only live if they have water, then the conclusion is true. Is that a valid? Is that what I'm gonna go with that? It just seems right. All right, here we go. Let's see. What did I get? Okay. What did I get? 20 out of 30 points. And each question was 2 points, worth 2 points. So that means I missed 5. I only missed 5 out of 15. Oh wait, out of 15? Shit. That's a third. Oof. Well, I'll just do it again, I guess.